Observing the wider human populace, it's become increasingly clear to me that most people engage with certain media because it makes their brain go brrr. Big shocker, I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all slaves to time, constantly on an endless march towards death, scraping for luxuries to ease the pain of the journey and hoping to prolong it just a little bit longer. With so little time to spare, it's nice to have something that's easily digestible and guarantees a little dopamine rush. But for some reason, people have interpreted their dopamine rushes as gospel and spout out whatever nonsense to justify their highest dopamine levels as objectively the best. Like, is it just me, or do all these shonen spaces constantly have the atmosphere of a Call of Duty campaign but with all the guns replaced with water pistols? When I rep a game like Persona 5 Royal, I do so because it genuinely changed my life for the better. It taught me valuable lessons so I can look ahead and strive to improve myself in the future. I could fight alongside these characters because I stand for the same things they stand for. But then you see Spider-Man fans and they're like racist for some reason. Peter Parker would hate you guys, you know that, right? So coming from this perspective, it's not hard to understand why this new anime made me feel seen. Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that I've been using a lot of jellyfish footage in this video, and if you're one of those people, then congratulations, because you won't be fazed at all by which anime I'm going to talk about. Jellyfish Cant Swim at Night, which I'll be shortening to Jelly Swim, follows a group of social outcasts trying to build a successful YouTube channel. Our protagonist for this daunting quest is Yoru, because I can't remember her real name, so I'm gonna just use her gamer tag. Yoru suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder because when she was Kani, her art was so good that the city decided to immortalize it under some random train tracks in Shibuya. Wait. Train? No, make it stop! And before even having the chance to reveal herself as the artist to her friends, they start making fun of the art. But on one fateful Halloween Eve, Yoru meets Kano, an internet-cancelled idol who absolutely adores Yoru's mural. And after some friction between the two, they eventually make up and form a little duo to chase internet clout. And that pretty much sums up episode 1 because that's not what's important here right now. Jelly Swim is an unapologetic love letter to art, showcasing its value outside of simply being a time waster. And if you're interested in, or even just appreciate the work that goes into content creation and the real effects it can have, then this anime I can undoubtedly recommend. Now, in my last video, I stated that Train to the End of the World made me cry in the title before backtracking on that statement in the video, which is probably why it barely got any likes. This anime made me cry. Almost. But this time I can promise you that real tangible tears were formed while watching episode 2 of Jelly Swim, so if you could please smash that like button, I would really appreciate that. Now, I wouldn't really expect anyone in the crying community to actually start bawling from a viewing of this episode. It was more so because I related to the new character, Mei Kim, Anouk, Takanashi. Just chill with the names, 2 names are enough. She's introduced as this uncomfortably obsessive fan of Kano back when she was an idol. So obsessed in fact that she could track down the exact location of Kano. Is it too late to take back my comment about relating to her? Her intentions seem all well and good at first, but it's soon revealed that she's a bit of a purist. She ain't supporting no modern Kano. She only wants classic Kano and doesn't take kindly to what Kano's become. Normally this would be the end of the story, but miraculously Kano and Mei own the exact same bag, so Mei accidentally storms off with Kano's belongings. And after our main heroines invade Mei's privacy, they find out she's good at piano, so they use her school ID to stalk her as payback. Also, Mei apparently goes to the Tokyo University of Music and Art High School, but when I first watched the episode I didn't see the high school part. Now I'm starting to regret a few life decisions. Kano asks Mei to write music for her, but she still refuses, still hung up over the fact that Kano doesn't want to return to the idol scene. But thanks to some well-timed butterfly effecting, Yoru drops some Evangelion human remains onto Mei's ID, prompting Kano to say, wait, I know this bitch. Up until this point, relating with Mei would be the last thing I would want to announce on public streamer vision, but thankfully the writers knew what they were doing and dumped a whole bunch of flashbacks onto us to recontextualize everything that has happened thus far. As quirky and unhinged her behavior may be, I'd be lying if I said I couldn't empathize with her. We first learned that piano was something she was forced to do by her parents because that's just family tradition, and despite struggling and hating it, Mei was able to acquire a substantial number of awards. Now, I was never a top performer in school, or anything really, but I'm the son of Asian immigrant parents, so the pressure to perform was always a lot more intense for me compared to people around me. Later, Mei gets bullied by some classmates, so this is getting way too real for me, guys. They make remarks about how she's bad at reading social cues and leave. Mei is also a ginger too. Wait, poor at reading social cues? Special interest in Kano? A ginger? Is Mei Kim Anouk Takanashi possibly on the autism spectrumino? Well, that's another one added to my collection. At some point she runs into a meet and greet for Kano during her idol days. Mei is skeptical at first, joining the line for the sake of it, but after bonding over the fact that the two of them had no friends, they're literally me, Mei learns quickly to adore Kano. And for the first time in Mei's life, she discovers something that she passionately loves before parting with the promise to write a song for Kano in the future. So, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's no secret, I love him. Just take a look at my profile picture. Sonic is the Kano to my make him Anouk Takanashi. Would I sniff Sonic's boots? They're canonically boots, by the way. If I were alone with them, though, I don't want to answer that. Returning to the present, May is about to perform in a piano exam, but before she starts, Kano breaks into the building to say that she intends to keep her promise. And thus May, who was feeling like a lump of coal before, finally came into contact with fire because she's about to drop those fire beats! The flashbacks continue, now accompanied by May's performance during her exam. We see her hairstyle change to better match Kano's, hang up a poster of Kano, and buy that bag. A bag that was designed by Kano. Not to toot my own horn, but all this reminded me of none other than me. I remember getting up at 3 AM and sitting in the dark to simply purchase a limited edition Shadow the Hedgehog poster, just as May had. My room is littered in Sonic the Hedgehog merchandise. No wait, sorry. There we go. And like how May wants to write a song for Kano one day, I too look forward to a time where I might have the opportunity to work on the Sonic IP. I didn't change my hairstyle though, before you ask. Becoming a Kano fan helped May become more confident in herself, and she seemed to be having the time of her life at Kano's concerts. And I fought tooth and nail across dimensions and language barriers to experience the Sonic Symphony. I paid for 4 people's tickets, ain't nothing keeping me from singing along to live and learn live in person. And lastly, watching May have to experience Kano getting cancelled online reminded me of the great incident of November 14, 2006. I grew up in a household informed by Asian culture while also living in a white man's world. I wasn't allowed to do things most people got to do, so I found it difficult to relate to others and make friends, which also slowed me down in developing social skills. Moving homes and school often didn't help either. So it was always nice having Sonic as that one constant in my life, even if the games fluctuated wildly in quality. The series would introduce me to new music genres. It was a series that bridged the gap between kids games and adult games. So I would see clips of Sonic hanging out in small open worlds and wish I had an Xbox 360 to play those games. In the meantime, I'd fight eldritch beings on the Wii or play the classics, which sparked my love of visual storytelling. And all the while, Sonic was being so unapologetically him. As derivative as the series is, it's as equally original. Before, you would not be able to find a game like the Sonic games, and it wasn't until the recent indie boom that Sonic-like games were being made. Around the second batch of flashbacks was when I began to cry. And I was at work before my shift started, so I had to covertly wipe my tears before anyone asked if I was okay. I think media can be and should be used for more than just entertainment. Because for a good chunk of people, the media they consume could be the equivalent of a good pep talk from their hero. So it's worth being careful with what you say about someone's hero, please. Because God knows how many insecurities I developed from just being a Sonic fan.
It continues to baffle me that anyone above the age of 6 cares about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Why, you stupid bastard?
I honestly think, despite how much lawful good lessons we all grow up with on TV or streaming or Apple Vision, a lot of people grow up to be a bunch of losers. So I think it's worth reminding ourselves every once in a while that, hey, if you really like Mashal, then why don't you try to live more like him? And if you like Walter White, then what can you do to avoid becoming like him? Had to add that there in case someone goes, no, what if I want to be like Dio? And if you mean that unironically, then die, I guess?